leaning for in this game? I haven't really asked you much in terms of like predictions so far in this tournament, but what are you thinking with the lineups that we've seen?
It's a rough one. I think Sumail might do a lot from the monkey on the mid lane versus the tiny. At the same time, I don't really like the sniper one that much. Like, they played a lot of sniper on the mid lane. Not a lot, but I remember seeing them in the qualifiers playing it on mid. I'm not really sure. I might actually like Navi's draft, all things said. Even with the tiny nerfs, I think I might like their draft a bit more.
Guess it's also dependent on how Sanctity plays, right?
Yeah, and it's just kind of... I feel like maybe it's easier to execute with Fatal Bonds and Shad's Gyro. You have the Dazzle that's just overall a really sick hero. Unless these lanes go terribly wrong for Navi, I feel like they might have a pretty decent shot at taking this one. But I'm really not sure. I'm just...
The battle begins.
Your guess is as good as mine for this game. I have to wait and see how it goes.
Based solely on experience, I would say Sumail is probably going to be very aware about how to play this matchup. I mean, they moved around their heroes to make sure that they have the better matchups.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that Sumail, being in the form that he's at right now, probably doesn't lose this lane.
Mm-hmm.
So I do worry about Sanctity in that aspect.
Yeah. If you're thinking about the draft games, I think that Nigma definitely solved their issues in a genius way and sort of won the draft, but I feel like sometimes you can feel that your draft is won on paper, but the heroes are just overtuned against you. And
right.
Even if you did win it, like it just doesn't matter because the patch is on the other side.
Interesting to see how this top lane kind of goes, in my opinion. Because if you do get that level 2 mark and are able to get on top of the sniper with the poison touch and lock him in, like when you're able to gap close on sniper this early on, he struggles.
Yep. Absolutely. So it's on GH and the Ghost to keep the distance, maybe pull the small camp, make sure that the equilibrium is always in their favor.
Homie Missile's going to fly in and hit him just as this ends, so...
He's dead.
Omar, Shadow Word, and he's going to die. Kaori getting first blood. He gets kind of pushed out to the side of the lane and ends up dying. And that is not really the spot you want to be in. Noob, meanwhile, he's okay with where he's at. I'm a little surprised that Omar's not playing closer and hugging the Abaddon potentially for that aphotic shield. But it is what it is, I guess. Sumail fighting up against Sanctity. Just right now at 8-2 to the 7-2, so it's pretty even. Do you expect this lane to kind of get out of control for either hero?
Maybe for Sumail. I'm not sure because Tiny got a bit nerfed, right? So his damage is way lower. So I expect Sumail to have a better time in general, especially when he gets like Orb of Frost and Corrosion and he's able to keep you locked. Tiny will have to resort probably to like some tossbacks or
bottom lane again, and
they might get GH TP. Yeah,
TP out. A-okay. Just goes back to the lane, and Ghost continuing to farm. What point do you feel comfortable with this sniper, maybe this Monkey King making moves to help out sniper?
So far, the sniper is doing all right. Dazzle is farming as well, of course, but he's not really pressured. I feel like Monkey King also doesn't necessarily want to leave this lane way too much on the mid. Just because of the matchup, it's good for him, so You want to keep the Tiny as poor as possible instead.
Right. Maybe keeping him locked down if maybe Omar goes over towards mid. And both their supports on the side of Nigma do a very good job of ganking over to the runes.
Yeah, Jakiro is a bit on the slower side for sure. Not as great as Tusk when it comes to rotations, and he's gonna get gone on again. But
Boy, can they get the kill on the QBFY? And they will. They'll at least get that. Ghost gets credit
They can deny
for it, and it should be an easy deny on GH, and that's, yeah, easy as it gets for Ghost.
like overall, Jakiro into Tusk is pretty bad for Tusk, and Dazzle into Sniper isn't that great for Snipers. So this lane, even though it's like this Tusk Dazzle lane, which is favorited by most top players at the moment and most pro players, it isn't winning against the Sniper.
A little surprising about the massive favoring in terms of those odds towards Nigma Galaxy. I would say that they've played a bit inconsistent. I don't know if I'd give them those kind of favored odds in any matchup.
I wasn't talking about the teams, just the heroes.
No, I'm talking about in general because it showed up on the screen.
Okay,
The
yeah.
odds showed up. And we'll get Jakiro. Another deny, though. So Ghost, even with QBFY on top of him, they've got the Brambles, and he gets a kill out of this. Like, they deny the kill twice.
And he gets 2 kills on
Yeah.
both on Tusk. I feel like they're overdoing this lane. This is one of those syndromes when you know that your lane is strong and you try to push it and you push a bit too far and you get punished twice. Like, I was talking about how strong Dazzle is. Jakiro is just as damn strong at the moment.
Yeah.
Even though he went 2-0-1, he didn't go for the Liquid Fire plus Liquid Frost max. It's still really damn good into Tusk.
Sniper 4-0 already. 2 kills on Jakiro, 2 kills on Tanavi.
I'm like, wait, 4-0? Okay, yeah, I get it.
Jakiro's come over and swiped that shield rune. Throws out a dual breath on to QBFY. And this has left Ghost alone. Look at this. Ghost is literally by himself at the moment. Free farming.
Yeah, at this point, once he gets like Power Treads and Raid Band, you can't last it against him as a Dazzle. What you can do is you can kill him if there is a Tusk, if there is a rotation. But they didn't make these rotations work for them.
And with the rotations not working, Abaddon's kind of having a free lane as well. Ghost is having a good
they're
time.
moving.
Mid's also really doing well. Every lane's
moving now.
great.
And the scan, look at that. Like that's,
wow, yeah.
they might still get him though. Tusk is a,
They had the secondary scan. They knew where he was. They just didn't commit. I'm a little surprised.
I feel like Cubify needed to go a bit earlier.
Yeah.
But if he goes a bit earlier, then there's a response for sure from Nigma. So a difficult move to make once again. They
Yeah,
are
everybody had
pressuring the sniper
TPs.
out of the lane. Yeah.
Well, it to me feels like this is like they have to do this. They have to get this tower. But again, it leaves you vulnerable. They do have TPs available. If they wanted to fight this,
And they want to. It
I
seems
feel like they could. Although Ghost getting caught first would be a big issue. The supports don't have level 6. They're not even level 5 for the side of Na'Vi. Shrapnel,
Monkey is coming
Bramble,
over.
perfect spot. Nothing projection does get the poison touch. Oh, good fatal bonds, and that will send them the other direction and maybe even get a kill on Omar. But Ghost, again,
Maybe a
5-0? No, he doesn't even need to deny. Gotta pad those stats, though.
You just saw how easy it is to fight for Navi. And that's without big ultis. One fatal bonds, and imagine if Gyro had an ult there. This fight is instantly done.
They get Omar eventually, but Sanctity,
And Sanctity.
is
Oh, no way.
alive. I can't believe it. Oh. Wow.
No way.
I did not think he was going to live there at all.
They didn't even chase him. Like, they actually thought he was probably dead from Wukong's command.
Now they're going to try and kill Noob, but he does have a Phonic Shield. He's got his point saved up. Could just go to the borrowed time. And there it is. He'll finally commit it, and they'll bring over Omar, but they don't commit the Brambles just yet. GH comes off to the side. Nothing doing in terms of a response, and now Tiny coming in. They want to re-engage, knowing that borrowed time is on cooldown for the next 70 seconds.
They have both the rocks, the Tiny and Kaori.
Yeah,
with Chaotic Offering.
Black Grimoire already used, so it gave him that quicker 6.
So
yesterday we saw people being greedy. They didn't actually end up going for this Abaddon. They do smoke though. Ghost still free to farm whatever he wants at the moment. Sitting second in the net worth, Sumail. He's top of the net worth. But can they get this? Toss, Snowball, Sumail, Ice Path now. Chaotic Offering as well as the Fatal Bonds, but they go to the Aphotic Shield, and that'll save Sumail for the moment. They do end up losing GH, but they're also going to get themselves 100 extra gold on Ghost. First round I feel like on Sanctity, but nothing doing.
Most importantly, they forced the Golem, and they saved the Monkey King. And now that's one of the longest cooldowns in the game. This Warlock will not have it for like 2.5 minutes, so you're basically free to make some moves on the side of Nigma.
And immediately they smoke up. They want to make a move. They want to go. And Shad, smoke ends up getting broken because he's over here in this little patch in the jungle. But the balance strike still connects, and the chase is going to be there. They have call down, but they just don't have the survivability or the damage to deter them much. Borrowed time committed very early, and QBFY might actually be a second pickoff for them if they can catch up to them. They drop down that obs, they'll chase. They've got a bunch of heroes here, and they'll look for an ice path eventually if they need it. But Brambles connect. They won't need the ice path. They'll get the kill into QBFY, and Omar gets credit for that. 2 heroes on the side of Na'Vi.
Maybe if they had Grave on Dazzle, he could TP and save a target, but it's just never the build. I feel like it's always 4-0-4. 404 Grave not found from Boom.
I think maybe, especially in games like this where you're, with the way it's going, you might have to go into that casual point and Grave.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It just feels like it's so costly not to have that one point. And when you're not playing that aggressive, the Poison Touch being maxed isn't exactly offering that much, right?
I mean, he farms with it. That's
true. You know what? You're right.
I'm not right. I hate it. I hate it. But it's just the way it is. Like, every single player just does the same thing. And you know what's the worst thing? When I'm playing Dazzle, I'm doing the same thing as well.
Could you farm just as well with level 3, though?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, you can farm, but this is better.
Fair enough. Now he's level 9, and he again just takes another level in Shadow Wave, just refusing to get that Shallow Grave. And an alpha projection comes through, but they kill Kaori very quickly, and they're going to bring Shad over. Curse Crown's going to stop him in his tracks with the Avalanche on 2. That could be a problem, but the Aphotic Shield onto Sumail and the borrowed time pop by Noob. Shad, he goes in with a Rocket Barrage. He should be able to get the kill here onto Sumail. They'll look over at Noob, who no longer has the borrowed time, but he has the Aphotic Shield, so he'll survive for a moment. The toss back. Oh, dunks him onto Omar, and now Noob, he's going to die too. Down goes GH. They'll look for a full team wipe while Ghost stands his ground, but he's going to die. Boom with a triple kill, and my words being eaten are delicious.
Yeah. Well, maybe it would have been without a death if he had the Grave, but this way it was definitely a very solid fight for them. Way too much damage was dealt just by the cooldown. When you look at it at the beginning of this fight, I feel like Noob did the right thing here to pop his ulti and save both himself and the monkey. Like you see here, like instantly pops ulti, uses it on him. But they are kind of scattered and all their spells are already used. Sniper is just connecting, that's also a problem. So they didn't have that extra damage that they needed from the get-go.
Noob also very willing to pop the borrowed time early, and I know he had to with the Avalanche coming in, but maybe if he holds it a little bit longer, I don't know. I think
Monkey
actually
dies.
Monkey just dies. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're just forced into this position where damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Pretty much, yep. It's also like you have this Abaddon who's really good as a hero right now, but the synergy between him, Dark Willow, and Jakiro isn't really there. Like, it's not like a Mars or even someone with a stun that can help you set up the Bramble Maze, the Terrorize, and all the Jakiro spells as well.
Do you want this Blink Dagger then for Noob? Or would you rather him just go straight into the Harpoon?
It kind of serves the same purpose, I think, so either or is fine.
I guess, but I feel like I'd be much more happy with a pull-in rather than blinking away from your team.
Yeah. Maybe this allows you to jump in together with the monkey. Maybe that's the idea behind it. Also, you have a Photic Shield to work with, so blinking is easier. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. I don't mind it. It all depends on how it's executed, of course.
See? Well, they're going to look over Chaotic Offering through into the Shadow Realm. Bedlam, the damage on a Sanctity, but Omar eventually dies. They've got the Shallow Grave. They get the kill to Sumail, and they'll lose QBFY and Sanctity with the damage from Ghost. Now they're going to try and get Kaori, who will TP or attempt to TP, but no Ice Path available. Was on cooldown for GH.
Yeah, Assassinate was a little bit too far out as well. So 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Together with the Rock used, kind of a win for Nigma, considering all the same heroes got traded, mid for mid, position 4 for position 4. I feel like definitely a bigger commitment by Navi. Although the difference is Gyro was still farming, right? Like he wasn't really a part of that. That's a huge part,
I guess, but
at
with
least.
Ghost getting 2 kills, he kind of keeps up with whatever Gyro's getting, right?
Let's see. Both of these teams want to fight around the Tormentor. It might be a good idea for Nigma to take this fight.
Ghost needs to be here. They don't have Chaotic Offering. It's a tough fight for Navi.
Yeah, and Ghost just completed Mjolnir as well. It all depends on the angle. Like if Tiny can get behind on the sniper. That's a good ward.
Great ward. Noob not afraid to stand in the front line. He's got borrowed time. Ice Path well short, but Nothel projection used pretty early, and they're backing away from it well. They'll disengage and now might have the opportunity to re-engage. Noob never committing that borrowed time.
Yeah, this is like one of the best heroes into Dazzle and also into Warlock, just because you can get rid of Fatal Bonds and Poison Touch. They still have like 30 seconds without Rock, without the Chaotic Offering, so...
And Nothel projection as well.
Yeah, maybe this is a chance to strike.
Kaori, though, looking to put Fatal Bonds out there if he can position himself correctly. Macropire laid down. Sanctity's already dead. Borrowed time is popped. Terrorize on a 3. Is the damage there, though? Cool Breath, Snowball pulling in the Dazzle. Walrus Punch comes through. Noob and Omar are dead. Shad's got the damage. The Shallow Grave keeps him alive. The Wukong's hits nothing. And Na'Vi, it looked like they were on knife's edge in that one, but end up just losing Sanctity.
Why do I feel like that Terrorize helped them?
Well, they didn't commit afterwards as hard as I thought they would.
I feel like he used cooldown before Terrorize, so all the damage was there already from the Gyro, and they couldn't chase them deep enough, so they just ran away, repositioned. The AI repositioned them better with that Terrorize.
And they also get the Tormentor, which is exactly what you were trying to avoid.
Yep. Plus now they have the Rock, like their big ultis, Null Projection, and the Rock. They're both here.
Na'Vi leading by a little bit. Still have Ghost at top of the net worth. He wants to get a Hurricane Pike. And now Dark Willow in trouble and very dead. Omar's going to die for the 6th time already this game. Dying.
Definitely not having the best game on the Dark Willow.
Yeah, dying every 3 minutes at the moment,
I need to get my eyes checked.
which is very rough.
Tower is under attack.
Shad surviving with a sliver of health there is a big game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. He's keeping up his farm with the snipers as well. Like, this matchup kind of is better for the sniper. Like, you can always keep your distance. In an isolated world, it's better for sniper, but all things combined, it might not be that great.
GH has Solar Crest. He's looking to just farm bottom, popping the mana drought and a clarity to get all that mana back. But the second he throws down the macro fire, the blinks are there, and Sanctity with QBF Fly come in, and they will get this kill on the GH. Not terribly worth it.
He's actually maxing out the ice bat. Like,
Different than what we
yesterday,
saw.
yeah, yesterday every single Jakiro was still doing 4-1-4, even with the icebreaker facet, which kind of makes sense. Like, you don't have to max out the ice bat if you already have a good ice bat on level 1. So it allows you to max out your other spells, like, on paper. But in this game, they need control. Getting the ice bat is definitely very valuable.
Closing in on that Hurricane Pike. Ghost still continuing to farm, but they found him. They're going to jump, and they've got the snowball looking to get the kill to Ghost, and he'll end up dead. QBFY gets credit for that one. The Terrorize comes through. Omar taking a lot of damage with the Fatal Bond's out. Sumail's going to have to back off of this fight completely. As they'll toss the Warlock into his face, they'll get another kill. 3 heroes dead. Ice Path is irrelevant. And again, just Na'Vi making the initial jump into these fights, and no response really from Nigma Galaxy. Especially when, well, we talked about it, when you're able to get in the face of this sniper, life becomes difficult.
He just needs a shard. I feel like Pike is way too expensive. He needs a shard to get away from the ice shards. Shard to counter the shard. And like, you're playing versus 3 heroes with blink daggers at this point. That's why they're so mobile and so damn fast. Dazzle with the blink, Tiny with the blink, Tusk with the blink. Like, good luck being the sniper.
Seriously.
Like I said, one-on-one matchup versus Jerry is alright, but there's just so many heroes jumping on top of you.
Also projection and Dark Willow
Sumail is in.
forced to go all the way out, and Sumail is on the trees, but he needs to find an opportunity. Again, if Ghost isn't in the proper position, I just don't think you can commit that much.
Yeah, if you commit on them and they just dodge you and chop the sniper, the same thing will happen again.
And they're doing it again. They're committing here's 4, but they need sniper's damage.
Yeah. He's connecting. He's trying to.
Yeah, he's not there though still. Avalanche was used. Sniper not getting into position yet. And now the blink forward. Shrapnel used. QBFY is going to snowball. GH with the Macropire down. And GH is dead. And a Shallow Grave again. Ghost going to try and stand up to all this, but Nalpha projection with the poison touch. Hexes Ghost for a moment. Curse Crown toss up. Down goes Ghost. And it's another 2 kills here for the side of Na'Vi. I mean, look at how far you can use this Nalpha projection.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And on top of that, he's got a blink to you know, get in position. It's just that they're committing nothing and they're doing so much damage. It's like 1 Fatal Bond plus cooldown and a single toss. Monkey almost died. He needed to use his shard to get away. Like, good thing that he at least has it. Sniper. Okay, he did complete the 4 stabs, so should be able to reposition himself a little bit better in these next fights.
Now, I would say these days, pretty early ages. Relatively. Also, with Sniper previously being top of the net worth for so long, now it is not the case.
Yeah, slowly and steadily, Gyro taking over. I feel like Nigma might have to tune their approach to this game. So far, it has been just let's try fighting 24/7, and I feel like they might have had some chances to take good fights. GH is probably dead, by the way. Ward's scouting him out.
Okay. Like it, and he is very dead.
But this, what he was doing, I think is on paper correct. I feel like they need to have a different approach to the game now. At least during the ages. Split push, defend the high ground if needed. Sniper is really good at that. And hold your ground. Do not try to make any unnecessary moves.
Yeah, because I think some of these moves have been very forced, and it has cost them, on top of which Na'Vi have played very aggressive in the right ways to make their mistakes felt even harder for Nigma. And Sniper has that shard coming through. He's got the Hurricane Pike and the shard now. And he'll go Revenant's Brooch next.
Yep, the standard build more or less. It just get as much mobility versus these heroes as possible, and then go into the damage. Because it's still not really that easy for Na'Vi to push. Unless they get some major pickoffs, like pushing into Jakiro, Abaddon, Sniper. You can take the tier 2s, but that's it.
Alpha projection. Throwing it out there.
I love that GH got Keen-Eyed enchant as well on his Searing Signets, so even more damage and more range for him. Free Aether Lance.
They're pushing forward. Sniper using this time to get the gold for a Crystallis. But they're up onto the high ground, so now Sniper going to be forced to TP back. Damage onto the Gyro. He's going to be hit with that Cursed Crown. Shadow Realm Strike gets him low, but they've got the Shadow Word TP attempt, and Shad is out, and now they're going to go and maybe try to chase Noob here. QBFY, he'll have an opportunity when those shards to follow up with a snowball.
Yes,
has
here as
no
well,
blink. It was on cooldown. And Aphotic Shield's on cooldown for 3 more seconds. He can borrow time.
Sniper.
And boom. Enough dead to Ghost. And now this is still going here. Trying to get the kill onto Noob. And he's going to try and go for Shad. Maybe get this Aegis. Unable to do so.
That was actually very close. 1 against 3. He did some serious work. At the same time, nicely done by Nigma to recognize what's happening and catch a stray, right? Like they got the one that was left behind.
And it was a good goal for Ghost. He's now got this Crystallis.
Yeah, absolutely. And that push just kind of solidified my concerns for Na'Vi when it comes to ending this game. Sure, you can control the fights outside of your base, outside of their base, but when it comes to pushing high ground, they're not in the best position.
No, not at all. It's another one of those scenarios where it feels like the team with the lead doesn't feel all too safe at the moment.
They feel safe when they are on their own playground, and that's anywhere on the map on the low ground. But when they try to go uphill, it is a bit sketchy. They're getting there though. Butterfly being completed by the Gyrocopter. Sanctity also going for the BKB. Eventually, maybe some jump in from the Tusk or Sanctity, toss someone out. That's usually the play. Ghost. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. The oohs and ahs of a very dead sniper.
Well, now that's a problem. There's no Aegis anymore on Gyro though. So.
How willing are they to step up here?
It looks like they are. Butterfly is completed. He's got the BKB still.
Nice pass. And the Cursed Crown, but they got to hold for 30 seconds, so this is looking like at least a dead tier 3.
But they're just delaying it.
A good amount of time. But still, they'll have another 20 seconds on the racks. Backdoor protection. We'll slow that down even more. And now that backdoor protection is off for the moment. Cursed Crown again will stun him up. So right now, for the moment, you only get a tier 3 tower. That's not terrible.
Not terrible. Considering Sniper got picked off so easily. It was a pretty cheap kill. They defended nicely, like a little bit of Curse Crown, a bit of Ice Pad, Boundless Strike, a lot of very annoying spells.
Yeah, especially spells you're able to throw from a distance. Not put yourself in harm's way at all.
I wouldn't mind, you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing some Aghanims on Cubify. He's going for Wind Waker instead, but imagine jumping in and just kicking this Sniper out of his base, or even kicking Monkey out of Wukong's command is pretty damn nice, I would say.
You going to him again? Yes, they are. So, easy Torm again. That means big gold. Okay, Ori getting that shard, that upgrade there to the upheaval. And the Eldritch summoning upgrade. We haven't felt the strength of Sumail. But now he's got this BKB. So maybe we feel a little bit more from him.
I feel like as a monkey, usually you stack up your Jingu Mastery and then you heal up from it, right? This game, he's just been dying by the time he stacks it up, so he could kind of never be that tanky Monkey King in Wukong's command. There's a Nullifier on Abba, BKB that you mentioned on Monkey. The Remnant's Brooch is done together with Nemesis Curse on Sniper.
With Nemesis Curse, though, it gives the impression that they have to hold from the high ground, right? I mean, I guess Sniper's dead no matter what. It's Glass Cannon passive, but he's Glass Cannon as a hero anyway.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a really nice enchantment on it as well. He's got a plus 90 attack range.
Always
so
good to stay even further back.
Yeah. It's too far from his team, though, now, as they're trying to make this move.
Boundless Strike, Terrorize, thought about Wukong's Ice Path, Macropyre, BKB. Chaotic offering flies through, call down even committed. Ghost on the edge of this as they'll jump out of the Wukongs, throw down the shrapnel, and mouthful projection from a distance, really being annoying. Noob, not a lot of health, but he does have borrowed time. No Wukongs. Everybody disengages. Nobody dead.
Was a nice attempt to try and blow him up before the BKB is committed. But just not enough damage right now, especially versus the Rock.
Oh, now Chaotic Offering's down. Cubified. Rules terrorize this lands, but where is your damage?
Man, these two teams are so damn careful in how they approach these fights, and understandably so. No one is very comfortable in taking them head on. You just have to find these cute little maneuvers. But the gold lead is increasing for Na'Vi, and You also have a gem on Warlock. They're kind of taking over the control of the map, and also Roshan.
Second Aegis.
Can this be contested though? Without the rock, like
they'd have to get in there, and Ghost is TPing back. So the
I think
idea
can
is they want to
contest
go.
this.
Disarm, Shad, Macropire. They found themselves the Nullifier. Cubify is dead early on. Notho projection at least zoning them out, but Roche sitting low. Sumail onto the trees. Homie Missile spots him, and that'll send him away. Another rocket barrage. Noob moving over, and they'll jump in. They go to the Nullifier onto Shad. Black Cannon, Wukong's Noob. It's got borrowed time at any point with the BKB being popped. They go to the call down. It's going to be on the Ghost, who will try to get himself away with the shard. It does land on him and Omar. So they're slowed up for a little while, but Sumail goes into the pit on the edge of the Wukong's. Blink in, Avalanche, BKB, quick fingers from Sumail. Sanctity, survives with the shallow grave, but Sanctity eventually, he's gonna die. It's the GH, they jump in for more, they get that kill and a boom, they've got themselves the Aegis, and Nigma, they get a really good fight that's gonna end with a +1 on the Kaori.
And what a great execution by them. And just taking the fight in a really good spot. Like, taking the fight around Roshpit is amazing for Sniper. You know what I was doing this whole fight? Like, just looking at Tiny. Just waiting for Sanctity to make a move, because he makes or breaks the team fight, and just jumped in, died in the pit. I mean, after, but they had to force the grave out on him and the BKB. He wasn't really capable of doing way more. And also keep in mind that they fought without rock. Like, chaotic offering was still on cooldown, so, or at least wasn't used until the bitter end of that fight. So really nicely executed by Nigma, and from being 8k behind to being 2k up.
Distraught faces there for Na'Vi. Not too happy about what had just occurred, and now it is, unfortunately for them, a position of being up against the Aegis on Sumail. That'll allow him to get some farm back into his pockets if they choose not to fight here. But Na'Vi, they don't want to give this up. These side of Na'Vi are looking to continue to go, and they've got the ups. Oh, Omar! 4-step forward, Cursed Crown, Ghost, maybe even looking to go back on it. Sumail's got Wukong's, he's got an Aegis, Boundless Strike goes to the Wukong's command. They've got themselves the Fear, the Terrorize, the Shallow Grave again. Notho projection from the high ground. Is it going to be enough? BKB's been popped by Sanctity. He gets out of the fight. The Kaori Golem is already dead. Snowball to save the Dazzle. Sumail's in with the BKB. Noob also moving forward with borrowed time available to him. He's going to pop it. They get the kill to Cubify as well as Kaori. They look over at Shad. TP attempt down with BKB. He is gone. So, 2 more kills for Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, this looked so damn forced by Na'Vi. They moved in a good position though, onto the high ground. Oh, Sancti. He's out. Yeah. They kind of moved well from Na'Vi, I would say. Like, they put themselves on the high ground versus the Sniper, but they didn't catch the Dark Willow, and then they committed the chase a little bit too far. Tiny once again caught with his pants down, basically, far behind enemy lines. And all these items that they've purchased on Nigma are finally coming together. Like, you have a harpoon on Monkey King, harpoon on Abaddon, who was a bit late to join the fight, but he was still there eventually.
I'll have this AC soon, too, on Abaddon. Ooh, and picks up the Pyric Cloak. That word, double R there. Who's spelling this? I'm taking a second.
I can help you out with that one at least.
Ferric? What?
Ferric, probably. I'm not even sure.
P-Y-R-R
Ferric
H-I-C.
Cloak.
P-Y... No, wait. Okay. P-Y-R-R-H-I-C. All right. The definition is 1 at too great a cost to have been worthwhile for the victor. It's a real word.
Okay.
Just a word I have not really seen before. Obviously, I've seen it since the patch, but I guess it makes sense when you're for the next 6 seconds, 75% of the damage taken by the caster is reflected. So you're giving them a Pyrrhic feeling because it would the cost would be too great with the damage being reflected. Sure. All right.
We have like the saying here. I mean, it's literally the same. Like the Pyrrhic victory or Pirova pobjeda, like Slavic lands. Like it's really common here though to say
Is
that.
it?
Yeah. Like when whatever, basically what you described earlier. When your win wasn't really worth it.
Yeah. I you know, that word not used too greatly in the America's vocab. So sorry if I don't know the word and definition. Let's see what they do here for Na'Vi. They are grouped together like they want to smoke. They just getting reclaimed. Can they find the right move? I do love that everybody in chat's acting like they knew the word before it got used in Dota. They're like, I read this in a book. Sure, guys. All right.
Honestly, we learned this in school, kinda, and it is used like in general. It's used quite a bit here, but I never heard it in English though. Like never. No.
Thank you. I appreciate the backup.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
Shad showing Bramble Maze and just trying to force maybe this BKB, but patience from Shad. All the while, Noob continuing to farm. He's got this AC. Silver Edge finished for Ghost. Monkey King's also got his Revenant's Brooch. They wanted to fight on Na'Vi, but Nigma just never gave him the opportunity.
Yeah, how's the high ground defense though from Na'Vi? I feel like if they can find an angle to toss the sniper back in.
Nafu projection, forcing them back very quickly.
Just look at Tiny and where he is. He gives away the plan for Na'Vi. He's basically the main aspect of... makes or breaks the team fight, basically.
They were really quick defense there. I mean, Nigma not trying to force the issue without an Aegis. They'll get themselves the Tormentor, though. And that'll be Omar grabbing himself a shard to upgrade to that Cursed Crown. Roche, 45 seconds potentially to be back up. Almost level 17 for Omar. This Jakiro, almost level 18, will have that level 3 in the Macro Pyre. But almost level 25 for Ghost. That's going to be pretty important. I'm not sure what he wants to go for next, though. Has this Mindbreaker, which will be big if he can get that initial shot out in these fights.
Yeah, the enchant on it is really good as well. 16% lifesteal. MKB next for him, of course. Jaro has had his Butterfly for quite some time. Mjolnir is good, but not good enough, so...
They saw that Obs goes into Shadow Realm, kind of guesses that this is coming. Shard's going to block Omar into a very, very precarious spot, but has that blink and he's got that shield, and they didn't commit to this. Didn't want to. Didn't really know where everybody was at once they lost that vision. They poked for a second, but
Look at Noob. Is this on purpose to break the? Yeah. Look at the way he's moving. He just wants to break the smoke. Basically, that's his play here.
Long respawn time on this Roche, by the way, and they are wrapping far out and around. Might be able to catch Omar again, but Will it cost them too much to go for it? Omar immediately goes into the Shadow Realm. Curse Crown's going to pop. That'll lock down Shad. Balance Strike hits on a Cubify. Blinking, Avalanche, Toss, Lotus, tossing back up into the other. Go to the Wukongs. Goes in a little bit of trouble with the BKB popping. Goes and uses that shard to jump away. But Omar's already dead, and now he's got to force Staff away from this fight. They've got the Aphotic Shield to keep him healthy. But the Balance Strike, Suman with the charge, jumps off of the other side. They've got the Upheaval, though, slowing them down. The Avalanche as well as the Toss. Lotus Sword, Sumail surviving for a moment, but unable to get away. Noob also moving forward. Sanctity, Shallow Grave, he'll survive. Triple kill for Shad. Can they get anything more as Ghost able to retreat from the fight? GHTP's out, and Omar was back in because he bought back.
Yeah, then these fights, if you're not on high ground somehow, they're just way too difficult to take for Nigma. Even with the advantage, and look at that, Rosh instantly respawns. Perfect timing for Navi. Keep in mind, there was like this position where Noob had to choose between, in the last seconds of the fight, he had to choose between saving Monkey or saving Dazzle. Saving Sniper. And I'm not sure if Sniper needed as much help. Like you'll see it right here, because Tusk was on him, but the Monkey King was fighting the gyro off. Right here, he has a chance to shield him once again, but he moves towards the Sniper for a second. In any case, I think that fight was lost.
Goes to the 30-second shrapnel charge restore time.
Maybe a bit better for defending.
Macroplier down, Nothlo projection, force Staff back. And Nothlo projection, he's literally on the low ground, and it goes all the way to the tier 4s.
Yeah, the cooldown is so damn low with the Octarine core on the Dazzle. Like 37.5 seconds. Keep in mind that half of that gets used in the duration of the projection. There's a shard, by the way, on Kaori, so double golem as well. This was probably one of the better fights, the last one for Warlock. The golem was good, but Fatal Bonds were even better.
Yeah, the Fatal Bonds were perfect, and having that refresher shard is definitely going to be an opportunity to shut down this Nigma Galaxy. I would say comeback, considering that Na'Vi were up about 8,000 initially.
It's cool that Abba
is
going for Ags, by the way. You see that? Like, he's got the Aghanims. So he's kind of close to level 25 as well.
This did get nerfed though recently.
Yeah. It's still strong.
Yeah. Ghost. MKB still hoping to have that in his future. And we'll buy out on it. So Ghost committing, not going to have buyback on the defense.
He has no boots as well. Just full-on right-click inventory. He does have a lot of mobility from Silver Edge, from the Shard, from the Pike. And you don't have to...
Cat.
Yeah. You literally don't need boots when you're cosplaying a tower.
That's what we think he's doing. Macroplier committed again. And still defending the high ground. Meanwhile, Sumail, he's off towards top. He's trying to get himself into a nullifier. He's got the Scotty. He just can't survive this fight. It's so difficult. Hex, Lotus. And again, Nothlo projection. Like, this just doesn't seem... it seems so far. Like, it really shouldn't be that far. Harpoon, Shad low. Shallow Grave is there, and he'll try to back away. Glimmer Cape, Shrapnel. Won't be able to take that Aegis out of the hands of the Gyro, so they can continue to go again.
It's just absolutely insane that they are able to do all of this without the Monkey King. Like, he was literally just farming. They do lose one side, but one side only. And now the monkey is level 25 as well.
Yeah,
He's
he needs
got
that
the
additional
Skadi
ring.
into Nullifier. Yep.
That's the one thing I will say, that these Wukongs have been a little bit short of what they've needed.
The fights were just way too messy. No one is truly committing. The teams are just moving back and forth. And also, as Monkey, you kind of need to commit the command, Wukong's command, because of the Tiny. You get blown up if you don't.
Bottom tier 3 tower. I'm gonna move in with these creeps.
I
And
don't know about this.
Nigma Galaxy are on the other side of their base. This is a bit of an issue, and yeah, being able to blink 4 staff and get your Nafu projection in is
Wukong's command.
gonna zone out Ghost for the moment, but the Boundless Strike, and that is leaving Boom finally vulnerable, and they're gonna go for Sanctity with the BKB pop. They took the Aegis out of the hands of this Gyro as well. Shad immediately going to the TP out. Borrowed Time's gonna be popped. Assassinate thrown forward, and they will not be able to get more than just 2.
Yeah, I know they weren't exactly in their base, but that push looked so bad for Navi. The Aegis was
Sanctity?
running out.
Sanctity?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did not expect the high ground ward that they had. 2 wards actually on their side. Got scouted out and punished.
I guess, yeah. Man,
And also, you've been praising Null Projection. Look, I get it. The range is great, but you can still get on top of Dazzle with heroes such as Monkey.
finally
that
they were
was
able to get on top of him, though. It has been a while.
Yeah, that's true. It's not. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that there are. You can play against it.
Yes, yeah. I agree with that, for sure. Just, when you're able to force M blink and the Nafu projection is going in so many units, it just, it's rough.
When you're protecting, it should be fine. When you're protecting your own high ground versus Dazzle, it's not that bad. But when you're trying to push into Dazzle and he's literally in his fountain, it becomes basically impossible to kill him.
Nothing yet in terms of when we'll know Roche is up. There's still another minute 30, so a lot of time. Sumail saved up 6,500 gold. Divine.
Quite a lot.
Shad.
He had the nullifier right queued up on the Monkey King, and he has it, and now he's got another 7k on top of that. Demon Edge purchased. So is this a Monkey King bar for the Monkey King, or yeah, it is.
There's that axe for Kaori, by the way. Still holding on to that refresher shard.
Radiant are scanning.
4,200
So
more
he
gold for
has-
Noob as well.
How many golems is that? Like 5?
Is it? Did you get the Ags upgrade on the Summons Golem on death? Because then it would be 6.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
yeah.
as well. I'm not sure.
Pretty sure. Smoke. Tormentor, Noob spots it, but he'll TP back home. And I think, yeah, they're going to want to fight with Roche potentially being up soon. It's been long response times previously. Let's see what it is this time. Toss up into the air. Wukongs is out. Cubify in a little bit of trouble with the BKB popped by both him and Sanctity. Alpha projection with a poison touch on a Noob. He'll use that Aphotic shield, and that Alpha projection now going back. But there's the Terrorize, and Dazzle's in trouble, but Omar's already dead. They get the kill to Boom. They'll look over at Shad with the right clicks coming out from Noob. He popped that borrowed time. The Chaotic Offering comes in. They've got the toss once again on the Sumail. He's low. Balance Strike not going to get off. They get the kill to Cubify. Sumail's dead. Buyback from 3. Ghost has to get out of here before Golem's running his way.
Run away! The bros are coming.
Another long respawn time, by the way, for this Roche. Another 2.5 minutes. They are cleaning up a lot of gold. That was just 800 gold for them to get on Nigma Galaxy, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's worth it. Like, the golems definitely did play a part though in the team fight, and they did force a buy-bump to Mail and from Boom. So offlane for mid.
Dire are scanning.
It's so dangerous for Nigma to fight on these situations where Sniper is kind of out of position on the low ground. And you could see it right there. He just doesn't carry as much of a punch, and Monkey King gets blown up.
They are going to be... Roche is up. There we go. Now get the Aegis. I think... And I need to be... I'm always looking at both the broadcast and the in-game. But you know how you don't know the timer on Roche unless you see Roche? And it always gives you the max timer when you're playing a pub? It could be up at max time this. I think when you're spectating as an obs, because I've made this mistake multiple times already, that Roche on my screen still said another minute and 30 for it to be back up, but it was alive. So
yeah, I'm not sure about that bug. Like, I don't know if I've had it.
Let me know if there's another
or maybe
Roche.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
I will.
I gotta start
maybe next
more
game.
so just looking at the both Roche timers that I've got available to me. Cubify, BKB, Ogre Seal Totem out of the low ground.
It's got the savory shield on Monkey King, by the way. Scrumptious and savory.
Delicious. Boundless Strike. Uh-oh, Sanctity, BKB. But the Avalanche, and now they had the Hex from the Poison Touch from the Nothal Projection. Ice Path, Lotus Orb. Sumail's fine. Homing Missile going back, and Hurricane piked away. And they got the top set of racks in the tier 3. They're going to try and go through bottom. Monkey King comes over, and he is deep into enemy lines. Link from Sanctity, Avalanche connects. Sumail going to be caught for a second, but the Balance Strike goes deeper into the base. Chaotic Offering's going to be committed. Now he's got the toss. Sumail's in the back lines. He didn't mean to be here, but now he goes into the Wukong's command, and he is looking to win this fight. But on the other side of the fight, they go to the Terrorize that lands onto Shad. That'll push his Gyrocopter away. They get the kill into Sanctity. He's going to be dead for 86 seconds with buyback. Right click's coming up from Ghost from the low ground. They'll take out Cubify. Buybacks from both. Noob going in with the BKB pop by Shad. But you've got Sumail deep in the base. The Nothal projection. Sumail trying to survive, but he'll lose that Aegis. It's just the Aegis. He's got a second life. Noob popped the borrowed time. They've got the toss back onto the Abaddon into the Walrus Punch. Shad inside the base, but the go for Sanctity he already bought back. Noob is in trouble. He'll end up dead, but Sanctity with no buybacks gone as well. They get the kill to Kaori. He'll drop the Golem in death. It's only just one, so it will just be the singular Golem for now, but the Ice Path lands. There's no BKB available for this Gyro. They got the kill into Omar. They've got the Fatal Bonds down. They get the kill into GH. They'll look over at Ghost. He's dead. No buybacks on 3 heroes for Nigma Galaxy. Oh, dear.
Did you see just what happened? No bot back, got the travels. He tried to travel in, but the creep got killed.
So much damage done here by the Gyro, and the Fatal Bond's doing a lot in that situation there, too. Gosh, this
fight was basically lost by...
It might be over. They've got Sniper to buy back. We'll distract the creeps with couriers as well. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, really lost by Abba not being able to reconnect. Like, he buybacks. If he's back in with the Fox Shield and ulti, I feel like they might even end it, but... This might be game over even for Nigma now. You have to be very careful with Ghost's positioning.
No buybacks available. They're going to jump in. They'll go for Ghost, and he's dead. That's it.
That's game.
That is game. Noob can't do anything. He'll borrow some time, but this one is over.
This is the closest game that we've had, and such a sad ending if you're a Nigma fan, but if you're Navi, you're very happy with this. Good game regardless, as they call out GGs on both sides. This last fight was, let's say, a little bit forced by Nigma, just a tiny little bit.
And number 2, which could be a factor. Obviously, it's how you play, it's the experience you've got and all that, but on the off chance it kind of goes poorly after what happened in that first game, that could be a reason why.
Well, it's always nice to gain confidence by putting Sumail on a hero that he gained his reputation with, right? Like you give him the Storm Spirit, the matchup isn't the worst as well, and the game itself is really good for him. So I do believe that there's a chance for him to pop off this match. We'll see.
Let's see what Navi.
Oh, that's entry. Woof. That was pretty bad.
Oh. And moving forward, just a little Shikuchi tap. Letting him know that he's there. Boom also placing an obs pretty deep.
Yeah, it prevented him from checking again if the ward is there or not, basically.
Right.
Battle begins.
GH and Ghost gonna come through. I could see early on there's a world where Boom and Cubify get level 2 and get a couple kills down here. If they get 2 first, I would say.
Yeah, there's a kill potential, I would say, on both sides. And maybe a bit more on the meta from the TB, right? Like he'll be spamming you with Reflection anyway.
Shards picked up for GH first. Mid lane, Sanctity against Sumail. Sanctity, Ember's definitely one of those heroes for him, and it was a matchup in which the Tiny, in the first game, it felt like maybe he shouldn't do as well, but did really well, and I feel like Ember is one of his better heroes where we could see him keep up with and or outperform Sumail. Although you're going up against Storm Sumail, it's a tall order for sure.
So far, so good for him. Like he's doing pretty damn well.
Habibi, come to the eye.
Bottom lane. Let's see who gets to level 2 first. And you can see Ghost constantly having to deal with the Shikuchi, the Reflection. Not really working with a lot of mana early on. And
It has
I'm
the
interested
stakes, right? Like the
Yeah.
magic wand is there, so he understands there's going to be a lot of spamming. You like the wand anyway on Medusa. Maybe some mangoes later on from the Tusk.
Top lane. Noob actually taking a significant amount of damage here. And this Bristle, we'll see what it can do. We'll see what the lead up is. Boom, actually, he's the first blood. Ghost getting that kill. They got to level 2 first, and that was really the basis of what I thought maybe Na'Vi would get if they hit 2 first, but unfortunately, it was the other way around.
There's definitely, like we talked earlier, there's skill potential on both sides. Like this, on paper, Medusa and Tusk should be more defensive, but if they hit you constantly and bring you low, also Mystic Snake kind of hurts too. Terrorblade is not really the tankiest of heroes.
Right.
He needs to hit back, right? Like he needs to. The way he wins the lanes is he hits you harder. It's not by sustaining himself.
Swarm.
Now.
Yeah, he was taking a lot of damage and Gorgon's Grasp, but now a little bit of mana back. The Mystic Snake getting him some extra time, and Cubify ends up being the one who dies. Ooh, boy. They really wanted that, and that Swarm and the damage looked like it was going to be enough.
It looks like Smith Ghost will get the... Oh, he doesn't get it!
Ooh, and now the Metamorphosis. He doesn't commit to that.
Yeah, there's no way. He doesn't get the kill. There's GH with Ice Shards. And there's like 2 waves under the tower now, so... He needed to go back, but... kind of bad for Ghost not to get it. It's worth more on him than on most heroes.
Definitely. Ghost popping a clarity. He's just trying to get some mana over here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
No,
Sumail
Shad.
kinda
Oh, go
going
on.
ahead, by the way, sorry, on the mid lane. Now it's 21 to 14, and he's the one winning the nutrition war as well.
Yeah, doing a good job up against Sanctity, and no rotations over just yet. But I say that with Weaver making the move and Muerta coming over as well. That'll be a water room bottled up for Sumail. One of the things that stood out to me in the last game, though, was the fact that Shad only dies once. Calling's down, but the damage, is it going to be enough on Noob? Nothing yet. Shad actually having to go the other way while this cool spray stacks up and starts to chunk him down a little bit.
I would say that the lane is set up for success once again for him. This truly isn't a difficult lane for DK. Almost no lanes are difficult for DK, but Bristleback kind of pressures a lot of heroes. But Dragonite just doesn't care that much.
Dragonite just needs to get in a spot where they can use him to fight with and maybe have that. I mean, certainly needs to have that sooner rather than later. Otherwise, I feel like you're asking for trouble. Go for Kaori, who will Icarus dive the other way, burning Omar. And Noob also sitting low, but Shad not working with a lot of mana.
If they want to kill Kaori, they need to find a good death shot into calling combo, which is not that easy. Kaori is a really good Phoenix player, so knows his limits. Top lane though, rotation from GH.
Yeah, let's see. They'll get the kill on a Shad, and they'll go for Kaori. Perfect shards. Ooh, Kaori's gonna die here too, and it's 4-0 in favor of Nigma. They moved over Cubify to go towards Sanctity, but doesn't really do anything with it. He should stick around and maybe stack while he'll look to get this rune bottom, but gotta see, Sumail is level 6, and it's an amplify damage. Drawing Sumail in, but there's the Sleight of Fist. They've got the Swarm, but the Snowball
Calling.
Sanctity, he's dead.
Yeah.
And the Calling's there.
Yeah, really good rotation by the two of them to secure the rune or help out with this gank. Very nicely done. This combo, by the way, that I've seen from GH and Omar quite often, the Tusk plus Muerta, is really nasty. Like, you catch someone in ice shards in the calling, can't get out, can't use any spells.
This is all of a sudden looking pretty bad for the side of Na'Vi. It's early. It is a 2,000 net worth lead based on what we've seen today. No lead is safe. So it's not exactly the end-all be-all.
It's
for
not
the
only
user.
that. I would say that it's not only about them being 1k down, whatever. It's that they're not up. They're not pressuring any lanes. Like, the bot lane has been lost. Mid lane, the same. And top lane is kinda even. Dragonite slightly pulling ahead.
I think the idea for Na'Vi is just kind of get some initial farm here for them, but now Q5 is here, the calling down, Shad backing up, the Swarm thrown out. Do they have the damage to get any of these kills? The calling continuing to silence them up and keep them deterred. Can't really make much happen. Deadshot misses.
Was a nice attempt, right? Like, to catch the Weaver as he's running back. Didn't happen. GH also didn't fully commit. Tag team was not used. Omar.
Look at Omar and Blood Grenade calling down. They can't Shikuchi and they can't get that kill, and now they've got the shards blocking, and Shad goes out the Dragon Tail. The Swarm's going to be thrown on a Noob as well as GH. The damage will be done here on a GH, but a snowball and a Cubify. They'll bring over Sanctity. Sumail comes in, they get the kill on a Cubify, they end up losing GH. Sanctity
shield
is
rune.
here with that shield rune, but how far forward are you willing to chase? And eventually he bails. That was not looking like it was going to be much more, but I'm surprised they didn't get Omar out of anything.
Yeah, for now it's 1 for 1. So much damage being dealt by Sanctity, by the way. Just showing up. Not even Orb of Corrosion is up on him, but still.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Exactly. Snowball. Shad in trouble. Oh boy, he's going to die, and that is now him dying more times than he did the last game, and they also get a +1 on QFI who came back.
He pops the Dragon form, and as I'm expecting them to make the move, I feel like there is one problem that they are having right now. These two supports are kind of useless in skirmishes without at least a level 6 on Phoenix. Phoenix is not a weak hero, but it's not that great at the moment. And also Weaver with the Hive Mind facets, you don't even have that squishy slow to work with.
Just not doing enough, these supports. And it's really a big problem. It's not allowing the cores to really get anything done.
Just very good rotations by GH. He's already level 6. Boom is sleeping mid.
Go. Boom. Walrus punched up. Sanctity with the Searing Chains. Nothing doing.
Yeah, Medusa is loving life though, right? Like Ghost is absolutely free farming on top of the net worth charts. 5.3k net worth.
What do you do? Because you're trying to keep your ability to fight early. And your ability to fight early is not looking good, especially Sanctity now getting jumped and pressured.
Yeah,
But
I think
the
this
Medusa is getting so much farm out of the game.
Is under attack.
I think what you just mentioned, Sanctity getting pressured, is the most important thing that they're doing. Because he's the glue, like he connects everything on their side. And if Ember is out, like you can even move the Medusa up top like they're doing right now to contest the Ancients. Look at this.
Don't want to be giving that away. And now Ball Lightning, Gorgon's Grasp. They've got the calling. Shad's in trouble. Might drop and will drop for a third time. I don't really see any answers for Na'Vi at the moment.
Well, the answer is to move around the supports together with the Emperor. Like, he's the playmaker here, but they're just forcing all his resources out 24/7.
Sanctity. Not much to do, and this is a game where Shad is not getting everything he wants. Already dying 3 times in this game compared to the 1 in the last game.
He just needs to get to his item accelerator, right? Like this Maelstrom will eventually help him out when it comes to farming, but Medusa is putting a little bit too far ahead.
Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, but again, it's just poke. It's nothing committal, but you're not getting anything from it. And now there's a regen rune on Sumail, and that is pretty massive.
Yep.
I guess you've got a TV farming bottom, but he's going Orchid.
Yep. Decent versus Storm, right? Not too bad. Some extra catch. I was being a bit harsh on Sanctity, but I mean, he is the true playmaker here. The problem that they have is that he's the only one. It's not about him. It's the fact that you have a Terrorblade on the offlane. What the hell is Terrorblade going to do at this point? Every single game where TB is offlane looks this way. He just shows up, pops some illusions, and the enemy team backs out, and okay, that's it. So you're forced to just farm.
This Manta was already finished from Medusa, by the way. The calling down, Sanctity low, and able to remnant away. It is round of Atos for Q5, but he just seems like he's never going to get that.
Maybe a fight or two. It's not the most expensive
they find
item.
Shad again. Can they kill him this time, though? show to have the damage just yet. And they really, they'll try
There's
to
no
go
way.
here, but Kaori, he has to be careful. Supernova there would have been worthless.
Absolutely. Without the Ember, once again, you have no control. Searing Chains and Dragon Tail. That's basically all they are working with.
This game, already odds-wise, very heavily favoring Nigma Galaxy.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, there are ways to come back if you can get later into the game, but it's not like this. When you're losing heroes, it's 10-1, and you have nothing to show for your lanes really at all.
It was a really cool play to smoke under the rune beta we were in. They are going on Bristle.
They'll try to get this kill into the Bristle back. Maybe they can get it. The snowball save. Supernova, Noob's dead. That's a good amount of gold for Sanctity, but can they get anything more? Not particularly at the moment. And there's the dead shot to save GH.
Maybe that egg wasn't really necessary, but it doesn't really matter, Kaori. It's not like it's an easy game to use it anywhere. The only downside, I would say, for Navi is that Sumail almost took down the tier 1 tower while that was happening. So, and he's level 11, farming away.
Sumail pretty farmed. I will say Sanctity pretty far behind. Terribly, even with the lack of attention his way, he's not exactly super farmed. Mid lane, they'll find the Phoenix. Kaori gone.
I would say he's kind of keeping up. And another hero that's keeping up is the DK.
Yeah.
Like he's recovered. Considering he's 1-3, his farm is solid. Getting really close to Mjolnir as well.
Just look at where Ghost is at, though. 10k net worth. This early into the game.
That's where you want to be, right? Like 10k, 15 minutes in.
For sure. And they'll smoke.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Do they have what it takes? They have the Orchid.
Have
And
the
he
Orchid,
was
but
rooted up for a moment. They probably should have just ran him and Orchided him.
they have the Orchid, but they didn't know where Tusk was. I feel like that's the problem.
Blinding in. Vortex and goes right into the TB, but
Radiant's middle tower is under
again, just doesn't have the control
is under attack.
to get that kill in the storm. Could have been a big kill to get. Medusa's going to come defend this. Out of Atos onto the Ember Spirit. This will be a dead tier 1 tower. Will it cost Navi anything? Morris Punch. Kaori. Sunray getting away for now. He's got this Pavis. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. Ghost. Not working with the most mana, but does have 17 wand charges. Ball lightning into the Vortex. They've got the calling. They go to the Rod of Atos. They should be able to get the kill in their Sanctity, but the Sunder save isn't enough just yet. But the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, the Remnant all the way back, but all the shards from GH. Catch him bouncing around and gets the kill on the Ember.
Can they get more? Probably not, right? Like there's an Atos ready and available once again. It's such a pleasure to watch GH play Tusk, man. Like Shad.
Uh-oh. He's been spotted once again, and Icarus dive, though, the other way. They can get GH. Shad's still alive, but Sumail's got plenty of mana to make sure that he's able to just get out of here.
Oh, they're just feeding Shad a little bit, right? Like giving him some extra gold. He's been farming a lot of ancient stacks. Like behind the tier 1 tower, one of the cool things about Dragonite is he farms ancients almost without any items. Very easily. So you can stack them up behind tier 1, which is part of his recovery.
But is it enough recovery?
Well, so far, It's decent, I would say, right? Like 9k net worth. Not too far behind the Duza. It's looking okayish.
Ball lightning over again. Kaori caught Pavis. And the Sunray. Deadshot doesn't reach, but he doesn't TP out.
I didn't know. Yeah. He didn't have mana. That was the problem. Like, if he had mana, he could just TP out. But
Tried to Tokyo drift away.
yeah, it's still one of my favorite interactions in the game. Just because I play Phoenix. I hated the bat flying over the cliffs, though.
Considering that the map has changed, I'm surprised it still works that way. Like they hadn't fixed it or anything, or changed it. Elder Dragon form, but Shad no Blink Dagger. Closing in on it though. TV, what's he got? That Orchid, he's got that Shard, so the Demon Zeal means he'll be farming quicker.
Well, like again, Weaver?
Oh, Cube of 5?
I sold.
Not bad. Not bad. But Noob. Oh, yeah, this is unfortunate. He's already got this Lotus.
They want to fight. Medusa has a full Skadi, by the way, flying out. It's completed right about now.
Ultra super duper farmed. Radabato still being built here for QFI.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Sanctity
attack.
wants this Manta. So does this Terrorblade, but the tier 2 tower going to be hit by this Medusa. What can they do here to defend this? What can they do in general? I mean, Shad now caught. And Sumail's not going to stop. Continuing to go, and now turning this around. Icarus dive. Sumail. Atos comes through. Dead shot lands onto the Phoenix. Remnant over from Sanctity. Piercing the veil is Omar. They've got the Swarm that lays down onto the Muerta, but they do not chase any further than that, knowing that they're going into the tier 1 range and might be chased and killed if they go for anything further. Tough game, Wizard. What do Navi need to do?
I'm looking at the Dragonet and his item progression and just the strength of the hero. Because like in the last patch, you could just chill and wait for him to come online, right? Like because DK was the ultimate carry almost versus anything. Now you have DK and Terrorblade. I'm wondering maybe that's just enough to deal with the Medusa eventually. You don't have to force things too much. Maybe.
Lightning and back to the Vortex by Atos, and the Walrus Punch. They get the kill in a Q5. As they'll try to go and get the kill in a Shad now, but the Supernova, the buyback comes out from this Weaver. He's silenced up once again. Noob was low, so is Shad. Sanctity moving forward, but they're just not getting anything away from Ghost, and Sanctity forced to run away, but the Rod of Atos carries all the way over to where he remnants in, and the chase is on. Dragon Tail, Lotus Orb, not going to matter just yet. Ghost, though, pops the Manta. Maybe they get this, but the Mystic Snake returns. They go to the Snowball. It's going to be on this Phoenix. They've got the Walrus Punch as well as the calling to get the kill on the Shad. Let's look at the Dragon Knight. Sleight of Fist again. And just not enough damage to get the kill on the Ghost. QFI trying to walk in there. That's not advised at all. All that just to get GH.
It was kind of a cool attempt from him to try and finish off the Medusa, who had almost no mana. But this was such a cool bait as well from Nigma. Like, they move in with Ghost. He had a really fat, what's it called, Lotus? Pool item, like Lotus flower, whatever.
Lotus
And
petal,
those, yeah. And they also have all these defensive tools. I really, really like the Lotus Orb as well from Bristleback. I feel like it's just changing the dynamic of these teamfights completely. Because Sumail can also just move in and do whatever he wants to. He's not afraid of this Orchid, of the Terrorblade.
No, not at all.
But I have to say, though, to me, it looked very scary for the Medusa. I felt like Ghost was about to die there.
Kaori. Gonna be left alone.
We were talking, by the way, as well about the diffusals on Navi and who can buy them against Medusa. Well, diffusal is purchased on Ghost. Yeah.
Jesus, he's the one getting it instead. Time lapse, ball lightning, and a kill there on a Cubify. Blink Dragon Tail, Shad trying. They go to the Orchid. This Stone Gaze though, Shad Vortex even closer, and he's not looking healthy. The Sun Ray not going to matter. Supernova used. This is going to pop. GH will end up dead, but can they get Noob? No, not really.
It was still a good defensive act, like preventing any extra kills on Nigma. Maybe it could have been used a bit earlier as well. But just nothing to save that Dragonite, and I really think that he was still playing with the feel of the old patch, where he actually has all the damage that's needed. It just doesn't work that way. This Medusa is way too big. Almost has a disperser, by the way, getting very close to it. Around 1,000 gold away from, with the level 18.
God. There's no slowing down this Medusa. There doesn't look like there's catching up to do. All three cores are at the top for the side of Nigma. The question to me becomes, when do they start pushing heavily?
I feel like it's always the same, right? Like the good old Medusa team compositions. Go get that first rush, finish like your butterfly or disperser with it, and that's when you take over the map. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're trading the tier 1 tower for Roshan. Aegis can be picked up by Sumail as well, but I think it's better on Medusa now. Anyway, he's way too big on Ghost. Mid lane, Sanctity.
Silence, Snowball coming in, easy kill. Sumail on a mega kill streak. This is tough, because I mean, I tried to hype up Sanctity, but he is just not having the game that backs up those words at the moment.
I honestly think from the get-go, it's a decent Ember game, but he needed more. And Sumail is now with the double damage on Kaori.
Gosh, yeah. Kaori gone. Sumail getting another kill.
607, by the way. That's the score.
Not great. And the Bristle, you know, we talked about the builds that Amar had been doing with the Seeing Red. It's the Snot Rocket to Hawk build. Well, maybe not the Doc item build these days with the patch, but the Snot Rocket offlane that Paravision like to use. And it's holding up just as well. It's 1-1 and 11.
Oh, I think this is better. You're playing offlane, Seeing Red would be just redundant. Your damage output is coming from the Storm and Medusa already. Just the Lotus Orb for me was literally the game-changing item. You get that, and suddenly Sumail isn't threatened by everything Terrorblade invested in, and that was the Orchid, right? Like, he got the Orchid, and suddenly, all right, my item, I guess, is useless. Sanctity.
Yeah, again, Snowball connects. He's dead again. How long do you stay in a game like this?
Well, maybe not for way too long, as 17k advantage, and the high ground push is more or less inevitable.
Try to fight. Blink Dragon Tail. Swarm's there. And they've got the meta. Lotus, Rod reflected GH here, and darts thrown out. They don't get anything.
He didn't even need to snowball him.
Well, they got Kaori again off in the bottom lane while they disengage top.
This is such a generic experience of playing Phoenix into Storm, who's fat.
Where he just dies so easily.
Yeah, he just hunts you. He just hunts you all the time. Now Sumail, of course, has a Witchblade and Orchid, so
Oh gosh.
there's nothing you can do against that.
Another regen, and Radabatos, the calling, the silence is there. They'll try to kill him, and they've got an Orchid for the follow-up.
Sumail, he is out of the gates and ready to go. 8-0-8. He's got the Bob scoreline.
I think he knows where Boom is. Boom? Oh, Sumail doesn't go on him though. Goes on Illusions instead. Let's him go. What the hell?
Let's see, he's still free for another minute 35, by the way.
Yeah, he could get... I mean, there is an Orchid and there is a Sunder as well, but I really feel that was definitely a kill for Sumail if he knew it wasn't an illusion.
Taking this tier 2 for free. They're starting to pinch. They're starting to close it up. Starting to look towards that high ground.
Yeah, Ghost only on half mana, but Clarity is running.
Oh,
And
God,
Sanctity is...
Sanctity's dead again. And they'll try to go Shad. This feels like a last-ditch effort. Cubify is gone. Down goes Shad. 3 heroes dead. Stone Gaze was used. Supernova also came through. And this is looking pretty over. I mean, Kaori's getting chased inside the base. Ghost will allow his Aegis to be used. When I say allow, it feels that way. Sunder comes through. Boom's dead. 4 heroes now gone. Kaori forced all the way back. And this will be a tier 3 top gone after this glyph runs out.
They might stay in the game because there is still an unused BKB on Dragonite. Not used once, by the way. He purchased it quite some time ago. It's still... Oh, Weaver.
Yeah. People find it again. Noob getting another kill. They'll go for the mid tier 3. And DK will TP in. Shad doesn't even have Elder Dragon for him for 30 more seconds. I don't know what we really expect from it.
Well, 30 seconds should be enough for them to get Mega Creeps even. If they decide to stay, I don't think there's a reason why they wouldn't.
Smoke for what seems to be potentially the last fight of the game. Not slowing down, not backing up just yet, but they smoke and they will start to back up.
Well, they can keep them in their base. They could even
Yeah.
finish off the butterfly if they wanted to, while keeping them just completely choked out of the map. So it's an option for Nigma.
Lining in, Sleight of Fist, and the Remnant out. Noob pushing forward. Demon Zeal, Blink Dragon Tail coming through on the Noob, and he just continues to throw out the Viscous Nasal Goo. Shad starting to get hit up pretty hard by Ghost. There's the Mystic Snake coming through. Q-File going to get into the back lines and maybe do some damage, but it really is a big doubt that he'll be able to do any of that. Nobody dying, not much committed, and they'll back up and push bottom.
Maybe if Sumail has Linkens and Haste. I was thinking maybe if they can catch him, but it's just almost impossible. 9-0-9 on the Storm Spirit. 4-0-10 on the Medusa. They didn't die once, these two cores.
Yeah, not really dying, not really in fear of dying. Ghost, though, fighting back, pops the Manta, pops the Stone Gaze, gets the kill and a boom. Sanctity frozen over, and they'll buy back on this Terrorblade, but again, not much doing.
Yeah, they force another buyback. 1,300 gold away from a full butterfly on Medusa. If they even need to wait for that. It looks like they might. Rosh could respawn in 40 seconds as well.
Keep an eye out. I'm going to check both the PGM and the regular Dota on their extended respawn time.
I got you.
I just want to see if this bug is actually what I think it is.
I don't think I've ever seen it, though, in my games at least, but I trust you. Might be around.
Ghost. Just continuing to farm here. No real fears in the world. So yeah, mine says the full 3 minutes. So does
Same.
the PGM. And I'm pretty sure it said that every single time. And now we just got to keep an eye out on Roche if it spawns before then the Roche timer because of the changes in game. I don't know how to read that. That's a clock to me. 9 o'clock, 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock. No, 11:30. I don't know. The op's shaking the mouse at me like I don't know how to read. Dead shot onto Sanctity. Just pushing him away. Things pretty quiet. As they are just waiting for... They're up 34,000 net worth. Like, this is a massive lead here for Nigma Galaxy.
I'm just looking at the clock, by the way, in the pit, waiting for it to respawn. And it's definitely going to respawn sooner, it seems like.
That's what it feels like.
It's about to respawn, right? Like in the next 10, 15
10 seconds.
Yeah. Ghost knows he's waiting for it as well.
11:45. 9:30. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, so that is broken at the moment. Just the observers, not the observers as specifically our observers. I mean, when you're observing the game from a lobby point of view, the timer is on. Ball lightning into the vortex. Shad in some trouble. Sumail. Ball lightning all the way up there to get this kill on the Shad. They even commit the Stone Gaze. All the way through. On the push. I mean, top has no building to push. Mid has no building to push, but bottom does.
A rush is up, but there is absolutely no reason, right? I mean, you can always be more disciplined and more careful and take rush, but there's no Dragonite for 40.
Yeah. This is a team that also knows what they're doing going up on the high ground for the most part. They don't have Stone Gaze. That's the one thing that makes me nervous, but there's no DK, and you can see when there's no DK and there's no control, there's no Dragon Tail, they don't really care all too much. They're going to pop this egg. Yes, they will. Kaori's gone. Boom is dead. Down goes Cubify. And GG is called. We're going to a game 3 for the first time on our B stream. I don't know about Trent and Lyrical, but for us, it's the first time.
For us, it's the first time. Exactly. Necessary as soon as possible.
Oh, we'll have to see what the build ends up being, what they're going to look at for themselves. It is Omar on that Weaver. And Noob playing that Marcy.
And Noob has a very particular offlane set of heroes, right? Like he's not necessarily in the meta most of the time.
I will say I feel like core Phoenix is strong though.
30 seconds to battle.
Used to be a bit better last batch.
Yeah.
The thing that hurt him was bracers and the damage it gave before, and you used to be like hitting much harder in the lane with like a double bracer. Now the double bracer is mostly there just for the HP and for your fast set dying like to work. It's still good though. I agree.
The battle
GH protecting this bounty rune. Omar off to the side. Shikuchi. And a blood grenade. Boom now. He's got to be pretty careful as he's eating some of this damage. They might be able to get this kill, but the blood grenade and the fire spirits, and they'll burn him out. They'll get the first kill on to Boom. So Nigma picking up where they left off in game number 2, starting it with first blood right away.
Yep, a pretty good start, and they also aren't late to the lanes with their supports, which is just as important. Omar is down bottom. I want to see how much the two of them can do versus Bane and Gyro, because this, to me, feels like it might be a losing lane. For Nigma, that is. I might be wrong, but the way I see it, Weaver plus Marcy, they shouldn't have an easy time playing against these two.
You don't think there's like a level 2 or a level 3 point where it gets a little bit easier?
I may be a bit easier, but it's not a winning lane, basically. And Omar, he's already dead.
We'll get a courier for his troubles, but yeah, one bit of lockdown right there from the Bane, that using that early nightmare, just making sure that they get that kill. And I mean, there was no doubt about it. You were positioned off to the left, away from your lane. There's nowhere to go back to.
It is just a really hard lane for Weaver to do a lot in. And then on top of that, you have so much damage coming in from the gyrocopter. So I expect that lane to continue being this way unless there's like a big mistake happening from Navi.
Sumail having to be careful there in lane.
Yeah, he has a bottle
very
flying out,
low.
right? So,
Yeah. Now he's okay, but there was a moment where it felt a bit nervous for him over in that mid lane for a second. But how does this matchup go? How does Death Prophet v Earthshaker go? Is it not that easy for Sumail?
I think it's not. I think it's like every melee into Death Prophet matchup.
Right.
She comes up to you, siphons you, you can't trade hits with her, so... overall, there's a reason they picked it, and I do feel that this is a winning lane for Sanctity. What happens afterwards, of course, is a completely different story. Shaker can have more impact.
Nightmare and the homing missile flying out on a noob, but gets under the tower. Different to what happened to the Weaver. And we'll see how Ghost does on this Phantom Assassin. I want to say if he has an open lane like he did in game number 2, the game might even end even quicker.
Probably will not have the same scenario here.
Right.
Because Bane, once he starts completely winning the bot lane, might do what GH was doing in the last game, and that's rotate top, make things difficult for Ghost.
Yeah, it would be tough for Marcy to kind of stay here alone, right? If it, even up against just the gyro, you don't really have the easiest time farming.
They did, at the same time, they did do a good job when it comes to the equilibrium, and Weaver also managed to pull a full wave behind the tier 1 tower, which Noob did deny. So a full wave denied from Gyro, and a full wave farmed by Noob. So working ahead, but there's a creep wave coming.
Rocket barrage, and there's the rebound out. Like, pretty easy when you're able to rebound away like that.
And Omar is pulling. So this was, I don't know, I feel like it would have been better for Navi to just stop Weaver from doing this and then leave Shad to farm against Noob. But this way, Noob is actually getting some farm under the tower.
Yeah, that's kind of insane there, considering, you know, Omar had been sitting behind the tower for so long and nobody really coming to stop that from happening. Doesn't really quite make sense, but
The decision was
a bit questionable. Icarus dive into the calling. Boom low again, stifling dagger, blood grenade out, but they'll get the kill. It's on to Boom, and Ghost gets one. There will be seemingly no return from Cubify. And that's correct. I mean, Ghost, again, getting the benefits of a couple of kills. As now they'll go for the Death Prophet. They've got the Dispose and the damage to get this kill. I mean, Noob's only level 4 coming over that way.
I've seen this from him before as well, and it's kind of cool move that he usually does around minute 6. As an offlaner, he goes and contests the rune very often.
Right.
Now it's even earlier. Well, when you have a bad lane, you can start rotating and doing things on the map. So,
especially when you've got that bit of lockdown, that jump in, that control that can really make it so you get these kills.
Yep.
And top lane again, Q5 and Ghost is in. He's got another kill. I mean, Nigma, they're already up 1,000 net worth. This is looking good again for them.
absolutely, these lanes are going much better than I expected. They found a way to alleviate the pain on bot lane, and top lane is just like, I don't know, they just are winning it from the get-go, from that first blood on the bristle.
Nothing really holding them back at all, and that's a little bit worrisome when you're giving a PA a good start like that.
They found Sumail, but what can they do here actually? They have a haste.
They'll try to go. They've got the silence. Omar's here. The dead shot connects, and Sumail's going to die under the tower. Not enough to save him, and now GH, who came from behind these heroes, has to TP out and just barely does.
That was very close, but no one to defend the tower now. All of them TP. That's a siege creep lane wave as well.
No glyph it, but that siege creep's not going to die. This is going to be Sumail coming back to lane. That all being said, again, you now have a level 6 on Ghost, and I wonder if he wants to maybe see this Exorcism run out and potentially try to make a move. But with the tower gone, no chance in that happening at all.
Yeah, there's always some potential, of course, if there's a huge fight, but in general, as a PA, at this point, you just want to be left alone. Want to be farming up.
Yeah, but if you can get some kills with that level 6, that is farming up, right?
Of course. Farming heroes.
And I
He's
say
farming
that.
Boom, yeah.
Boom. Oh, boy. Another stifling dagger available in a second. The dead shot. Ooh, can he get the vision?
He can't. There's Phoenix coming, though. GH? I was thinking maybe GH comes from behind, gives vision, but yeah, he decided to go back instead.
Not quite the damage they needed. Gotta go over mid once again. Shikuchi, Spirit Siphon, Omar on the run. Oh, yikes! Another Spirit Siphon and just an easy rundown by Sanctity.
Yeah, he's
That
sabbing.
is rough life. I mean, you do not expect that to just be the end-all to your life.
Yeah, you know why that happened as well? It's because of the skill build of Weaver. Omar has 2-1, so 2 levels in the Swarm and 1 level in Sukuchi. Level 2 Sukuchi is massive upgrade for Weaver because suddenly you can actually use it twice in these small skirmishes before dying.
Right. So now coming over, and Fissure will fight here, but Sumail just gonna.
Everyone's coming.
Yeah, everybody's kind of making their way over. They'll go to the calling. They get the kill on a GH. Is PA gonna commit to anybody or be committed on? They had the Nightmare there. They go to the call down. They've got the Unleash. They take out Shad. Cubify goes down now to Ghost. But there are a bit of stacks on the Ghost, and he needs to be careful. But there's the Fissure.
Oh, the
Again
Fissure.
with the Unleash. Boom. Gonna be crit down by Ghost. The rebound out of the Roche pit. Kaori disposed and killed. Oh, my.
That looked like a disaster for Nigma, and somehow they just made it work. Shad going alone on the Weaver, I feel like that bait was massive. He goes in, Unleash plus Shaker, they finish him off. The Fissure by the pit was pretty damn bad because it almost saves Bristle. But they have just so much mobility with these heroes that it truly doesn't even matter. Like, you have a rebound, of course, from the Marcy. This here, right, when Gyro goes in. I baited a bit too much.
Yep. Beat it a lot too much, honestly. That is tough. And it turns into a lot more that ends up really being detrimental here. And Ghost, the immediate TP attempt, but
Atos.
Sanctity has a rod of Atos, and Ghost, he outplayed himself.
Pretty much. Yeah, they do manage to take down Kaori on mid lane, but this was
Yeah, it cost
a
him echo,
great
though.
kill. Great kill for Navi to get the PA.
Blink Dagger, 2 minutes faster than the previous record.
Dire's top tower
Is this previous record for just this event right here?
Radiant's bottom
On who? On Shaker? The Blink?
Yeah.
There's no way this is a record. Maybe because he only has brown boots.
That's what I'm saying.
power
Well,
to
it said
it, yeah.
2 minutes quicker than...
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that like the best time at this event?
Probably, yeah. I think so.
Or this patch?
We're gonna have a lot of records broken, right? Because it's very early in the patch. So
Oh. A lot of shovels.
shovels.
You just keep digging. Make yourself a pathway, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Every joke that I thought of with all those shovels was kind of mean towards Navi, so it's gonna.
There's a 5th shovel, this one being picked up by Sumail, so... Maybe they're all hoping to pick up bounty rooms on the side of Navi.
Yeah, it's so good. If you're a mid laner and you get the shovel, you just shovel water runes all the time. Ghosts and
First
GA.
dive away. Blood grenade, silence with the calling. There's the stifling dagger, but they go to the pierce the veil. Ghost maybe thinking about going in.
They had no mana on Sumail, and also he is 15 seconds away from Echo, so
Dire's structures are fortified.
I wonder what's
Radiant's bottom
the
tower
game plan right now for Navi. They're pressuring. They're playing pretty aggressive, honestly. They're not behind by too much. But net worth wise, they need to start slowing down Ghost. They did get that one initial kill. But they need to, I would say, try to get him again. And I know that last gank was probably to try. But
yep.
similar to what we saw when the Veno was in that game, you need to, like,
Good
shut
luck.
it down. They'll go, and they'll try to get the Death Prophet. Unleash Sumail, getting the kill, using Echo Slam in that one.
It zones them away from the Ancients as well. So maybe this is maybe it's an option. I'm not sure if they have the damage.
I think they could after the tower with the Earthshaker.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah. Also, getting around that 14-minute mark, if they could take this stack quickly and move over to the shrine,
It would be massive, but no
that would be
unleash
pretty big.
and no echo. So it might be a little bit too greedy. Keep in mind that Kaori still does not have level 6, so this is so important for him. He needs to get his levels.
They dusted, and now they go to the Rod of Atos. They've got the calling, and Weaver not going to be able to time-lapse and run away. They get not only that, but the Shrine. So now level 6 for the Bane. And
really
Ghost has the Battle Fury now. So that, I mean, that's going to push his farm and try and, let's see, either BKB, maybe S and Y. So we're by 15 seconds than the average.
He's having a much better game than the Gyro for sure. Sanctity, can he catch anyone here? Blink Dagger
Oh.
used.
My question is, do they want to try and wait out this Exo and go in? Sumail's sticking around bottom.
Yeah, they want
He
to go
doesn't
on
have
the
Echo
gyro.
for 25, though.
Does it matter?
No, it's not looking like it's going to matter in terms of just going for one. Call down connects. Dead shots there. Sumail has Echo in 13 seconds. So you got to come ready to this fight. And if you group up a little bit too heavily, that could be a big issue.
This is Unleash maybe into the Tormentor, maybe even
Yeah.
without it.
Not with it, right? Surely. Maybe not.
Seems like not. Yep.
I guess not. How do you feel about
Dire's top
special delivery?
Ah, you mean the
The ability.
Marcy one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that everyone gets a flying courier kappa, but special delivery is good. I'm not sure how I feel about my game becoming
Dire are scared.
starting
Too
to
easy.
resemble League of Legends and becoming too easy. Yeah.
Well, I'll
But
go with the calling. They've got the fear with the dead shot. Silence still. Supernova even committed to this, but there's Blink Echo available, and they'll use it. They'll get the kill on a Sanctity, take him out very quickly.
they had so many situations where they were clumped up together, but Sumail couldn't jump in because of the calling. That has to be a frustrating feeling, right? Like, you want to jump in, but you know you can't. You're just insta silenced.
Oh, you see it like formulating.
Yeah. But he still gets a very good kill. He's moving towards his Aghanims. I suppose after the Axe, BKB will be the item of choice. You won't have those problems any longer.
By the way, Ghost going Manta style. Kaori. He is pretty dead. Using the Fiend script there, and they do eventually get noob, so it's worth it in the end. You can see the
a little-
struggles there for the Fiend script, though. Alone, at least.
Yeah, they did commit exorcism, right? So that's something, but overall, definitely worth it for Navi. Yeah, I wonder the Manta. There's a lot of silences, I guess, but not really an item that is extremely popular on PA at the moment, that I have seen at least.
We'll see what he gets after this Manta. But I can understand it with the silences.
You can play some mind games as well, right? Like with the Manta, you can play some mind games versus the Bane.
Right. Doesn't necessarily mean you'll be caught.
Radiant
Got the illusions out there. Makes Fiend's Grip a little less reliable.
But what can also happen is the good old Insania versus Collapse juke, where you just die still. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, this is... Ghost is getting so much. He's been a part of 9 out of 14 kills so far. And he is looking for a pretty early Roche.
Yeah, they have the bugs. Like, the Swarm just makes Rush easy for almost any single composition of heroes. And they're again in full control, like 5 HK ahead. And it's... this isn't a matchup where Jaru is supposed to be behind. Like, usually Jaru is ahead of most carries.
Right.
He's quite behind the PA.
He's pretty far behind. I mean, he will get this Ag soon enough. He actually has it. So now he's going to be farming a little bit quicker. But still, you're right. Like, we're seeing this Gyro just kind of struggle.
They're kind of itemizing in a certain way where PA might not be as strong. And also these items that they're getting are naturally built by the heroes as well. So they're not really moving out of their comfort zone. Let's just see Kaori if he's going to die here
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
very quickly. So the items that I mentioned, that I didn't mention yet, is the Halberd on Bristle. And Also the Shivas on that Prophet. So a lot of armor, a lot of slow disables for PA that might eventually come online.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is it going to be enough? The queue right now for Ghost is Satanic. Do you like that? Do you like kind of continuing to forego the BKB?
When you're playing versus a Bane,
Yeah.
BKB is not as good, but not even SNY does make me a bit, you know, scared for one wrong move and you can be picked off.
Good stacks. For Gyro to farm. That being said, calling, Radavetos, dead shot, back into the center of the calling, into a Fiend's Grip, Rocket Barrage, Sunray not going to be there in time. But Kaori's dead to Ghost, and now they go to the Exorcism, the damage on a GH. He never gets that Supernova off. They've got the Radavetos, it's on a Ghost who's hit with a dead shot. He needs to find a way out of the fight, but for now,
Sumail.
he's in trouble. Sumail, can he find the opportunity? Ooh, Echo, all right. It got shed. I mean, that is something, but the dead shot lands, and they're going to lose Ghost if he's not too careful. Oh, they lose the PA, and how much more can this Earthshaker give? The Exo is doing a lot. They're trying to get the Spirit Missile on a Sanctity and maybe get a kill here, but slowed up is Sumail. They've got another Rod of Atos, and with the Viscous Nasal Goo, they got themselves a fourth. They might even get a fifth. Omar time-lapse, but nightmared up, the sentry down. The Viscous Nasal Goo continues to stack, and so do the Quills. They'll take out Omar. It's a full team wipe with a dead shot, then flying out to GH while Cubify dies.
Yeah, nice little flyby of the Phoenix to finish off Muerta, but overall this was a massive win for Na'Vi. And now it makes me feel like, you know, the moment you see this, you're feeling, oh, maybe BKB was the right option after all. Because eventually this grip is going to be used. Like that fight, there was no grip. And PA still couldn't stand and fight. Although you can't stand and fight versus Exo, I guess, even with the BKB. It won't really do a lot.
You see, Ghost is in pretty deep. I know he's got this Aegis, but fighting into the Exorcism, if there's one thing I've learned from DOTA, it is always ill-advised to fight into the Exo. Unleash on a Shad while they end up losing GH. I mean, they unleash with the amplified damage. Oh, boy.
Yeah. And he ran uphill. He literally just hugged Marcy. It came to him. What a perfect position to be in. Enemy carry just rolls up to and dies.
Really was perfect.
Yeah, just 2.2k damage. You know, just a single hero doing 2k damage to the enemy carry. It's all right. All she has is 2 bracers and a BKB, by the way.
Ends up stealing the shrine as well.
Yeah, like overall, that last fight, you know, we were talking about it, it started wrong. Like, Noob got caught, and then they started fighting 4 versus 5. Sumail wasn't even there, so a lot of unnecessary moves, I would say, from Nigma.
I'll get both shrines. This is something that really made Na'Vi struggle in game number 2, is the fact that both shrines were taken a couple times.
Yeah, Na'Vi will smoke up, and Kiori has a blink, by the way, so this item could allow them to get these catches going. You know, like right now, up to this point, they only catch the heroes that run into them out of position. Now they can actually set up the pace of the game.
They avoid that smoke,
Radiant are scanning.
at least for now. See if Na'Vi come through the twin gate. Doesn't look like they will. Won't commit to that, and they're going to continue to farm up. Phantom Assassin looking for the Satanic. Gyro continuing to farm, so Shad, even with Sumail, but not where you want to be.
Dire's middle tower.
Just getting towards the pike, and then the BKB. Of course, the thing is, they do have a lot of damage regardless. Like, they don't have to get this massive gyro with an MKB and whatnot. They have a lot of mixed damage, physical and magical, just from the spells.
Somebody.
Cubify.
They'll go, they'll jump. They've got the calling, the silence, and one thrown out by Sanctity. Radovato's BKB is going to be committed on this. Stifling Dagger onto Sanctity. They smoke. They want to go back into the fight. BKB is going to run out on Noob. Ghost has to back away. Shad coming from the side, Stifling Dagger. And Sumail with the fissure. He really is looking for the right opportunity to go in and get that Blink Echo if they do come their way. It's difficult for Noob. He's got half health, no BKB, but does have the Unleash. Maybe he could survive with that. They are still looking, and the only ones who are still smoked up are Kaori as well as Cubify.
I feel like it's on Sumail most likely to break the grip. So it's
With
not
the
that
fissure?
simple. Yeah, with the fissure. Maybe an echo if it's like a bad positioning from Bane, but no one else can do that right now. You're not disabling or killing him fast enough.
Axe being built by Muerta and wanting that upgrade on the dead shot to have it pierce.
It's kind of cool that everyone started building this. Like it's not the first time we're seeing it now. It's becoming more popular on a position 4 Muerta. Usually it really wasn't bought at all before.
Well, it was, what was the other ability? Parting Shot, right?
Yep.
For the longest time.
Yep. It felt like a grief. Honestly,
Parting
it felt
shot,
like
yeah.
it felt like it's helping the enemy hero, not really hurting him. In some circumstances, like 1 out of a million, it was good.
Scan connects, but Cubify obviously there with the calling down. Will Sumail and Phoenix go in on anything? They're just still giving time for Ghost to get this Satanic, right?
Basically. Is there anything else big? Of course, there's a BKB on Sumail. I think that's maybe as important. As Satanic is completed, now the only left remaining item is the BKB on him.
$10K net worth lead. Na'Vi trying to find an answer. They smoke up as 5.
They had a really deep ward, which did scout Ghost out, but...
Ooh, Ghost going to be on the front of this attack. Sumail not nearby. Homing missile was going to be thrown on at Ghost, but now they've got the BKB. Noob going in with the Unleash. They got the Exorcism off. Call down. That'll land on a Noob as well as GH, so that'll slow them up. Get him low. No Supernova connected or committed. And Sumail never there, so he never jumps in, throws an Echo or anything like that. But they go into Roche.
Can they... Is that a smoke? They do have a smoke, so they will run in. Maybe they can fight even after it's taken.
If that's what they elect to do. Roche low and Aegis. Do they want to go still? They all look to TP out. But Cubify, Ghost, pierce the veil, and the fissure will block him up. Icarus dive over, Stifling Dagger, and eventually Cubify dies to GH. They got the Aegis. They give themselves a chance to hold on to this game a little bit longer.
Yeah, they're 9k behind. It doesn't feel that bad for them. I feel like around this Exorcism, anything can happen. As long as you make sure that Sanctity can use it. Which leads me into a new point. A Nullifier would be pretty cool on Nigma. I feel like that's an item that could be very useful.
Roche's banner, not important. It's a cool chest. Honestly, I would love to have that. Fiend's Grip, though. Holding him down. And Noob rebounding, unleashing. Can he get a kill here? He can. He gets at least 1. Now he's going to fight Boom. He's got the BKB. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sanctity's also dead to Ghost. 2v1, and you lose both of them.
Oh, that's... You know why that's the saddest? Because Kiori actually tipped him the last time he died this way. The last time they killed Noob, that is. Yikes.
I need to get my
2
eye
heroes for me
Is under attack.
to kill. Thank you.
Oh. Yeah. That was the best call an ambulance moment I've seen in a bit.
Oh, call an ambulance. Ah, I love that video. Great video.
Radiant's top tower is under
Great meme.
And by the way, PA, he did switch things up. He's not going for BKB instead. He's going for Nullifier. And at this point, I actually like it. I feel like it's better.
Not even afraid at this point. Lotus is coming from the Weaver. No more nightmares. Doesn't matter how zonked out you are. No more nightmares. Even if you look at me and scream nightmare. Anybody else building Lotus? No. Just the Weaver. I like it.
It's good. Weaver is one of those supports that can buy almost anything, and his next item is actually Aghanim Scepter. You don't see that very often as well on Weaver anymore. The map
He's gonna
is
find somebody and then just kill him. I say that, but Earthshaker not able to keep up. Icarus dive though. Sunray, Cubify, Rocket coming out, or the homing missile. And that will get a hit, and they won't be able to kill this Muerta just yet. But another homing missile, disarm. That's from the Bristleback. Rocket barrage. This PA doesn't have an Aegis, but does have a Satanic. Another Rod of Atos, Grip Swarm, Icarus Dive, Supernova. Now they'll look for the Unleash. They've got the Fan of Knives. They've broken the gyro. They get the kill. Deadshot's not going to matter. And now the attention was on Sumail for a moment, but Boom can't do the damage.
yeah, you think you're worried about.
Fissure hit.
Oh, Boom.
Another
Number
disarm,
3,
but he doesn't care. Meanwhile, the fight is on. The Fiend's Grip onto the Weaver, who has time lapse. Better hope this lasts the entire time. But they TP over to the outpost that they've taken over and don't find anything.
A nice little tumbler story, by the way, saves Bane, and it's important that he lives because he was carrying the gem as well. Would be massive if they managed to kill him. But 20 seconds, no gyro, does have a buyback. No creeps as well, though. And this probably will be defended, right? Like they have that shot as well to work with.
Dire's top tower.
They're really trying to just hit through back door.
What's scary about this game is you think PA is a problem, and then Noob jumps you and dishes out just as much damage with half the net worth. Unless they did damage items, that is, at least.
In just about as quick a time.
Yeah. He's got BKB and Basher, and he just destroys the gyro.
Gyro's got to be careful now. Blink. So survivability and mobility items for Marcy, but you're right. Unleash level 3, you're getting 1,325 extra attack speed. Because why not? That is a massive number.
It pretty much is, yep.
That's this nullifier now, and let's see. Do they want to wait for Roche?
Probably, like you can.
long ways
but
out.
It's a long way, and because of that, maybe you'll get a pick off instead. But this nullifier is massive on Ghost. Not only does it buff his damage quite up, suddenly Sanctity can't use his Ghost Scepter anymore to just dodge the PA onslaught. So
Standing on that high ground, Icarus dive over. Ags finally picked up for the Muerta, but I don't know how much it's going to be valued. Nothing doing just yet. No back off once again. I mean, they're happy to continue to farm, happy to get the level 20 abilities out there, or talents out there. Sumail about to hit his level 20. He's also got Kaya Sanj.
Yep. It's just that the way they're playing is they're not backing out
Kaori?
to farm.
They
This
had
is-
obs on this, but this is dangerous. The calling
Very
actually
dangerous.
slowing them down from going after Omar, but he's got the Lotus Orb, and now they're going to go. Radavitos gets reflected. They go to the Spirit Vessel. It's on a Sanctity. They've got the Fan of Knives. They get the kill to the Death Prophet. Now they'll look over at this Bristleback. Down goes Boom. They'll find Kaori. Nowhere for him to hide, and they will get themselves a third all-have buyback, and they're probably going to be forced to use it. Gem's also on the deck.
That was such a dangerous play to make. Like moving outside of your base when you don't really have a lot of vision. They had one ops there. It was, yeah, it was never gonna work. I was just going to praise Nigma and how they play. Like, it's not like they're just farming, they're constricting you in your base. They're doing like the most textbook Dota ever.
Jumping in, looking
So-
over now at Boom, killing him again. Oh boy. He bought back, so he's not going to be alive for 70 seconds.
Yeah, they bought back the Death Prophet, but he has no ulti. Like, they weren't even afraid of him. He had it. But the Echo is still up on Sumail.
This Lotus paying in dividends constantly. Honestly, just perfect itemization coming through from Nigma. And the pressure, I mean, the lanes went really well. Everything seemed to be pretty solid.
They're gonna have another Lotus, by the way, now in Phoenix. Very soon.
Cedrac's in trouble. The dead shot's cool, but it's just not doing enough.
Maybe if they could hold, like, Bristleback is up in 5. It seems like Nigma will back out, but I'm looking at the items that they're purchasing, and I just don't see a big difference maker. Gyro, I'm not sure what he needs. He needs like 5 stacks of Ancients to get closer to this MKB that he's trying to buy. And maybe he'll find it. They are smoking up. This could be cool. PA isn't here.
Yeah, Roche up soon, by the way. Good shot lands, and everybody's starting to retreat. Ooh. Okay. Everybody gets out.
Yeah, that should be free shard for Ghost. They all have shards already, so just free gold.
Yeah. Quick 22, 20, some math like that. I'm looking. That clock says 11:30. and at 11:30, Roche will be back up. They are getting closer to each other.
I can't read that as well. Don't worry.
It feels like a
What's
cutscene.
the quarter? What's the quarter? How much time is this 1 quarter?
I've never known how to read this clock, but it's getting there. This new Roche timer that we've got going on, I love it. I'm here for it.
When it works.
Well, I mean, this was working. We know it's close. Oh, tightening the view, but nobody
doesn't help.
fighting just yet. We're getting there.
When it hits that, Rush will respawn. Can you believe it?
We're gonna. Oh, Echo! They're gonna go. They're gonna try and kill Shad. They may not even need it. They may not even need this Aegis. They'll look over. They'll try to get a kill on a Boom. Nightmare to try and save him, but the damage coming out from Noob is just too much for him to handle. They both don't have buyback. The Lotus Orb is going to reflect this. Radavitos back over to this Muerta. Cubify is in a lot of trouble and dead on his screen already, honestly. He'll end up dead. Another Lotus buyback coming out from Cubify. Supernova right clicks from Ghost, and they rip up this Sanctity Death Prophet. GG is called, and Nigma Galaxy will send Navi to the O2 realm, and they'll move on to the 1-1 era. Oh, and Roshan's back. Wow.
So we